What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. So the BET Awards were held this weekend, this Sunday in finally sunny Los Angeles, California, because in case y'all did not know, we have been basically living in Seattle, Washington for the past 9 months. Y'all know how Tony said it don't rain in Southern California? That was definitely the case. I've been out here 13 years and it'd be sunny. Yeah, we'll have like June gloom and things, but weather fantastic. At the back end of 2022, the weather, it was storming weather, flood. We had lakes being revitalized in the state that were considered ancient and and a part of history as being a former lake and had been in a drought for decades, even 100 some years. And in Southern California, it's been cloudy and cold. Let's keep it a buck. But this past weekend, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ decided to shine his light upon the BET Awards this weekend. And it's a lot to unpack. Okay, it's a lot to unpack. First, I'm old. There's certain things that reiterate that for me. And don't nothing reiterate you being elderly like not knowing none of the new artists. Like kind of recognizing them because you saw them on the Shade Room, but not knowing none of their music. Having to Google, like, who is this little girl? Like don't know none of them. Except the old heads that were featured in the hip hop 50th anniversary celebration tribute. I knew them. I knew all of them. I didn't know none of the new people. So it's safe to assume that I was watching it just in a state of confusion / nostalgia. I was toggling back and forth between the two. But I ain't gonna even hold you. This year's award show, it felt very chaotic. And I'm saying I love and respect BET. I have friends and associates who worked or have worked for the network. I would love to partner with them in some capacity in the near future. But when we're talking about the BET Awards specifically, we really need to get into what it has turned into. And the first word that came to my mind is chaotic. Now, a part of that is there were no hosts. I mentioned months back that we are currently in a writer's strike. Writers write everything. Yes, there's copy to toss from like the stage to a commercial package. MC Lyte can, at this point, write her own like teases and kind of format of what she needs to say because she's been doing voiceover for BET shows for so long. But the host is what keeps the flow going. It keeps the jokes. It tosses from presenter to performance. All the people that come out and talk and make jokes, talking about the nominees, all of that, that's written by writers. And in solidarity with the writer's strike, there are no writers for these shows. We saw that with the Tony Awards that was, I believe, last month, where there were no writers for that either. And word on the street is that Taraji P. Henson was scheduled to host, but in solidarity with the Writers Guild, she decided to not host this year. Shout out to Taraji for standing firm and standing down, 10 toes down, because we got to get, if we need to get our money. People in Hollywood that's working, we need to start getting our coins. So Taraji knows that. She did right by not hosting. But with that, it just left like a lot of like dead air. They had Kid Capri kind of ushering in the flow and the rhythm of the show, but at one point he didn't even know he was up next. He wasn't behind the DJ booth. He was trying to hurry up and get set up. Earphones was like half on, half off. Like, poor thing was just thrown to the wolves in that position. So it just led to there being a feeling of it not being adequately curated. But it just, I'm a child of hip hop. I am a child of hip hop. I keep saying this. I've been saying this. I've been listening to rap music since I was too young to be listening to rap music. We scratched up our Fat Boys vinyl when I was a young child because people were scratching, and we thought it was just as easy to put the record on the turntable and scratch it. I had rap music. I used to give my older friends money so they can go buy me the Tupac album or Biggie Smalls' Life After Death and all of these things. I used to smuggle my way into buying these albums because I was too young, because I was literally a child growing up with hip hop, watching all of the videos on Rap City, watching them all on Yo MTV Raps, writing, me and my homegirls writing down the lyrics to Tupac, Shed So Many Tears, because we had to get the lyrics right. I'm talking about, I've been raised by the culture. So while it's great to see all of these different segments and things honoring the anniversary, I need it to be a little more like organized. Like, these were some of the most randomly curated segments. Now, I think they were at one point in the BET where it was like, I guess it was like a dance, like a segment honoring rappers or hip hop artists that contributed to dancing within the genre. So they brought out Kid and Play, then tossed Justin Combs. Like, who goes from Kid, then to 69 Boys, then to Soulja Boy? Like, I get I get the point, but I think hip hop just deserves just more, if that makes sense. Now, we are a week away from Essence Festival, and there is supposed to be a tribute to hip hop at the Essence Festival. I'm not going this year just because I want it out. I'm going to say my thoughts about why I'm not going, because every year I be bitching and complaining about not being there. You already know me. And I'm going to watch live on Hulu, because they're going to stream some of it on Hulu. Shout out to Hulu. So I'm hoping that the curated segments there really honor hip hop and the culture. I even saw my girl EVE gonna be there. And y'all know I love me some Eve. I used to be rapping the Pitbull in the skirt, rapping so hard. So I'm hopeful of what can still happen. But it's just a part of me is just kind of like, we deserve so much more. And adding, I want us to start inserting Heavy D into the conversation about celebrating hip hop. We be seeing all these tributes and all these people popping out, and people we talking about rest in peace so-and-so, rest in peace so-and-so. Where the rest in peace Heavy D? Where the overweight lover getting, when he gonna get his shine? I don't care who you are, I don't care. Heavy D has cemented himself as a part of hip hop history and should be honored. So I'm just putting a pin in that and putting that out there, that the overweight lover deserves some respect. Now back to the awards overall. There were some good moments. Again, when all the old heads came out, I was locked in. Busta Rhymes finally got the Lifetime Achievement Award, and from the speech to the performance, it was just top tier. Okay, one thing about Busta Rhymes is the epitome of what a superstar in music is, right? He just got it, always had it. He always had it. He has charisma, stage presence. He's charming. He got bars. He can actually rap, because sometimes you can have bars, but you really ain't good at like rap. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm talking about. He's creative. He has always had great collaborations. He has no problem letting other people shine. He is loved by his peers and respected. He literally is, when you think of like hip hop star, music star, Busta Rhymes is the perfect example. And let me add, Busta Rhymes in his 50s was up there rapping with no backing track, the tracks with the vocals, for full on felt like 20 minutes. Non-stop entertainment, okay? Shout out to him. The Migos got back together, minus Takeoff, who was unfortunately murdered sometime either this year or last year. But y'all know Offset and Quavo had some beef. They wasn't seeing eye to eye. It was getting nasty. It got bad. They surprised the crowd and performed together in memory of their brother slash cousin slash friend, play cousin, and that is Takeoff. Great. It was a great performance. And adding, I would love for Offset to be able to really shine on stage, because we keep seeing clips of his performances and how he is on stage. The boy got stage presence. I really want Offset to find his lane and be given the opportunity to really perform, because I think he'd be fantastic at that. There were a lot of women in hip hop who performed this year. Y'all remember back in the day, you would have got one. Now I think somebody tallied, there were like 8 women, new current rappers who were on stage, which is huge. And we've been seeing this in like on social media, and people just having this type of discussion. The women in rap, they outshining the dudes. They got more swag, they got more creativity. They really out here with these bars. It's really the years of women in hip hop, which I'm loving. But with that, it's a couple things that I would love to see. You know, as a comic, you got to be on stage every day. Now, especially in the early years, as you get older, that's not really feasible. And I mean older in your career. But when you first starting out, what could be considered a form of artist development is open mics, doing small shows, bar shows. Hell, I performed on a park bench in front of some homeless people at one point, because you just had to get some stage time. You just had to practice your craft and them jokes. You had to get them jokes off. So for comedy, there is a form of artist development that happens. In music, there used to be a form of artist development that happened. Think about Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang, especially people like Method Man in particular, Wu-Tang used to be hitting that road. They would be doing them podunk, hood, city, club performances, dates all over the East Coast and the Midwest for years before they started to get to the huge stage. That's how Method Man, people like Method Man and Redman got so good. That's how Busta Rhymes got so good. Even when you think about more current, T.I. and Jeezy. T.I., Jeezy, when they came out, they was hitting that road, doing club dates, doing small venues, working their way up to stadiums. And then they kind of got a chance to really shine and show all of the work that they put in. Artist development. Record labels used to make sure artists were developed. They used to make sure that they were ready to perform in front of mass crowds. They would make you hit that road. Now, because the roadway to stardom is so short, or the runway rather, there's really no time for artist development. We watch people being developed on large stages and large platforms, which is a disadvantage to them as far as skill set, but it's an advantage to them in regards to money. And I'm adding that point because it seemed like a lot of new artists just ain't put enough work in to be considered great live performers. The first step is to learn how to perform without the backing track, the track with the vocals. You don't need, stop performing with the vocals. I remember Jay-Z popped in at Jermaine Dupri did the So Def 20th anniversary concert in Atlanta, and Jay-Z surprised the audience. Go to YouTube and check it out. And JD put on Money Ain't a Thing, and it had the track with the vocals. And Jay-Z kept stopping and being like, "I'm sorry, I just don't fuck with the vocals. Like I'm not performing over the vocals." When Jadakiss kept stopping the Lox's verses against D Block, or kept chiming in during the breaks to say they performing over the vocals, y'all could have just stayed in the car and listened to Apple Music. That's what that is. Step 1. Stop performing over the vocals. Step 2, shout out to people like Tiana Taylor, who's out here working with artists, developing their live shows, getting them together, and making sure that they're on point for these large performances that these stars, these new stars, are getting access to at a very young stage in their career. Because you can literally go from TikTok to Coachella. Now, you ain't headlining Coachella, but you getting that 1 p.m. spot on Friday. You getting that 1 p.m. Pacific time spot. And that's a huge stage. So bring back artist development. We might even need to bring back gatekeepers. Listen, say what you want about the ills of the industry and industries, because I can loop in other genres within this. Because the artist can go directly to the consumer, they don't necessarily need the approval or the green light from anybody in order to be successful, make money, and to gain a certain level of celebrity. The difficulty with that is, again, we are now being allowed to consume just anything. And some of it just, I'm not hating or I'm not listening. Some of it's just not good. Like, we got to get better, man. We got to get better. I just want us to, as Black people, to continue to strive for excellence. We got to get better with our craft and with our art. So with all of that in mind, or in addition to that, we need to find a way to get the BET Awards back to its level of prominence, back to the star-studded night that it historically was. There was a time where the BET Awards was the place where you would see the pinnacle of Black Hollywood. Michael Jackson used to go to the BET Awards. He would perform, make surprise pop-ups. He surprised James Brown on stage at the BET Awards. And I know a lot of Black News listeners are somewhat removed from those particular icons. But that is huge. Beyonce and Jay-Z used to be at the BET Awards. Prince used to be at the BET Awards. He's performed there. Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, our stars used to be at the BET Awards. When I tell you this year, there was no real Hollywood star power. And honestly, now one, they could be in solidarity with the writer's strike, because I know I've heard a few actors who were invited who did not go because they're not publicly saying this, but because they were in solidarity, they didn't want to get caught out there looking like they was just being shady and not in support. So I respect it. But not even the new Hollywood, Black Hollywood guard was there. Like the new guard. Like Michael B. Jordan wasn't there. Damson Idris wasn't there. I know it's a touchy subject between those two, but Lori Harvey, she Black Hollywood. She current today. Lori wasn't up in the building. Where was the cast of Bel Air? Coco Jones was there. She performed, but where was John Boyega? Where are our stars? Where was her? Her wasn't there. Where was all of these people? And I'm not saying this against those people I named. I'm saying this to say some of them probably felt like the BET Awards lost its luster and did not choose to go. I could be wrong. Maybe they weren't invited. Maybe this wasn't on their radar. But there was a time in Black Hollywood where you would see Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith at the BET Awards. They hosted. Y'all remember the Destiny's Child moment where Beyonce, Michelle, and Kelly brought up Magic Johnson, Terrence Howard, and Nelly and did the lap dance to cater to you. Those were huge moments that happened at the BET Awards. We got to get back to that. I would love for us to be watching it at home as a family, and the camera pan to the crowd and we see the new guard in the audience at the BET Awards. I don't know what it's going to take to get to that. Maybe it's new producers. Maybe it's a rising in our individual self-respect when it comes to how we look at the BET Awards. But somewhere we lost our way. And I don't like it. I don't like it. We lost our way and I don't like it. And I'm not talking about far out history. The BET Awards was the shit up until maybe a couple of years ago. Something happened. Maybe it's the pandemic, because you know the pandemic done messed everything up. I'ma blame the pandemic. I'm open to hearing y'all thoughts on how we can get it back to what it was. Then adding, before we wrap up this segment, even down to the Tina Turner tribute. Even down to the Tina Turner tribute. Tina Turner is a freaking icon. Tina Turner is a living legend. Patti LaBelle, who did her tribute, is an icon and a living legend. And excuse me, Tina Turner was a living legend. She passed away. Poor Patti couldn't even see the words and didn't know the lyrics to Simply the Best. 1, 2. Where was the new guard that was supposed to perform the Tina Turner tribute? Like, what's going on? When they said it's going to be a Tina Turner tribute, y'all know who I thought was going to be out there? Definitely Chloe Bailey. I thought it was going to be Chloe Bailey and Fantasia and a gospel singer. Because, you know, they always got to throw a gospel singer up in there. One of the new ones. Yolanda probably busy, but I thought it was going to be one of the new ones. I was like, oh yeah, they go definitely Chloe going to come up out here. She be dancing and singing. She got them hips. She can move. Chloe, it was going to be Chloe for sure. Fantasia going to get up there and be screaming. She going to do Rolling on the River. She going to do Proud Mary. I know it. They weren't there. They weren't even there. So we just all around got to do better. We got to do better. And I'm sorry if this was like a 20-minute vent session. But I want all of us to get on the same page and to shift our perspective and minds back to Black excellence. And I'm saying, I never thought I'd see the day where the NAACP Awards has outshined or is starting to outshine the BET Awards. The Black Music Honors that I think was on Bounce TV, it was a little better. Like, something happening. And adding, I love me some NAACP awards. I really want me an NAACP award. That's what I want to win. I don't know what it's going to be for yet. It's going to be something in the arts, but I'm going to give me one of them. I really want one. So let me know what your thoughts are about all of this. Did you watch? Did you not watch? I know y'all saw some clips on social media. Were you as excited and happy for Busta Rhymes as I was? Hit me up and let me know. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. Y'all, the new rap beef is Pusha T versus Jim Jones. Who would have thought, man? Yo, who would have thought that Pusha Terrence, and Jim Jones would be beefing as far as hip hop battles and just talking cash shit? Who would have thought? Not me. Was it you? Not me. Maybe you did. Not me. So in case y'all missed this, because it was easily missable, Jim Jones was doing some interviews on radio and podcasts and hip hop outlets where somehow he was asked about his like top 50 top hip hop artists of all time. And now keep in mind, I didn't listen to the totality of these interviews. I just saw the clips on social media. But if I'm not mistaken, the question about Pusha T being included in that, Jim Jones on multiple occasions was doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on the fact that Pusha T is not like top 50 best rappers, don't got no hits, shouldn't be on the list. Like, I'm talking about straight up saying Pusha T just ain't on it. I also didn't see if Jim Jones put himself on the top 50 list, because that would be wild. If Jim Jones said Pusha T not on there and he is, I'm not even gonna go there. Just throwing that out there. Wow. But we thought, okay, this gonna die down. At least I did. It was like, you know what, this gonna die down. Pusha T busy. He gonna put out some new album, and we gonna be back to wanna be selling bricks. Like, it's gonna be this. He gonna put out that cocaine music, which we all love. Because one thing about Pusha T, he gonna rap about selling some drugs, okay? He gonna find a new way to get you excited about unlawfulness. But I don't do Black News Podcast. We do not condone crime, okay? We do not condone crime. So I thought it was dead. Done conversation, Jim Jones, you crazy. Haha, boy, you crazy. Well, last week, Pharrell Williams, who is now the in-house or interim designer or collaborator for Louis Vuitton, had his fashion show in Paris. Star-studded attendees: Beyonce, Jay-Z, Zendaya, Meg Thee Stallion, Jared Leto, Kelly Rowland. I'm talking about they was out in Paris. And a double side note, though, them Louis Vuitton pieces that they did Pharrell design, they hard. I'm not usually the one to see stuff on the runway and be like, oh, that's cute. Because sometimes it just be looking mad crazy. I ain't gonna even hold you. Some of that be looking mad crazy. But them Pharrell Louis Vuitton pieces, yo, them jackets, that whole line is hard. I mean, I was up here looking at it online like, y'all got to find me an extra $30,000 to buy me a coat. But one of the songs that the models were walking out to was a Pusha T song. And then the snippet went viral on social media with him dissing Jim Jones. Dun, 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 it has begun. Now, keep in mind, Pusha T has battled the best of them. I saw a list on social media of some of the adversaries Pusha T had, and it included Drake, of course, and even McDonald's. Who knew that Pusha T had beef with McDonald's? Because I missed that. You gonna beef with Mickey D's? It's safe to say the boy ain't never scared. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, here we go. It's over for Jim Jones. Oh, remember Pusha T was the one that exposed Drake for having a son. We didn't even know he had a child until Pusha Terrence came out and said, you got a son. Well, it wasn't over. Jim Jones responded with a diss track of his own. Now, granted, I did not listen yet, but he recorded it outside a bodega. It was some trash bags in the back, the black New York trash bags. It was gritty, grimy. The braids wasn't freshly done, like he slept without the do-rag again. Classic Harlem Dipset Jim Jones. People saying that we got a new rap beef. We got a new rap beef. People saying we out here. We haven't got the response for Pusha T because literally Jim Jones just dropped that maybe a day or two ago. But I'm willing to bet that this gonna go on and on and on and on. Now, I don't know who is still in Dipset with the camp, who is involved, who cool or whatnot. But if this go old school, Jim Jones gonna loop in some of them. But at this point, who you gonna loop in? Jewels? Cameron? I don't think Cameron even in the mood. He too busy reporting podcasts with Mace. But this has the potential to, be the 2023 rap beef. Now, adding, I don't know these two gentlemen. I only know what they rap about. But I just hope that the rap beef stays rap beef. I don't hope that it goes beyond that it can stay within the space of the music. Because, sometimes people just step out of bounds a little bit and then it can turn dangerous. So I'm hoping that it don't go there. I want it to just stay straight on albums, on wax, like they used to say back in the day. Okay. But overall, who y'all got? Y'all got Jim Jones or y'all got Pusha T in this? Have y'all even listened to the both disc records? I haven't. I'm going to listen, but without hearing it and just hearing snippets, I'm going to go with Pusha T. Let me know your thoughts on it though. Who you got? Pusha Terrence or Jimmy Jones? Hit me up with your thoughts. On this week's episode of Black News, we recapped the 2023 BET Awards and just discussed the 50th anniversary of hip hop performances and our overall hope for the future of the awards ceremony. We also gave a quick recap of the Pusha T versus Jim Jones rap beef. Hit me up, let me know what you thought about all these topics or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Kennelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Kennelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Kennelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.